Hello, welcome in. This is Cleo and this is a Freya Friday special. This is Friday the 13th, and you could be watching on Friday the 13th, but I'm going to be channeling the pagan energies of Freya today and seeing what she has to tell us. So, some people think Friday the 13th is unlucky. However, for some of us, it's the luckiest day you can find. So I hope your Friday's been going really beautifully. And I'm just going to dive in and see what the higher realms and the goddess wants to tell us. So thank you for all your lovely likes, your subscriptions, your donations, and your beautiful comments. I love hearing from you all. It's nice to see everyone getting excited for life. And I am. So let's get to it. What do we need to know? Show me, goddesses, what do we need to know today? We've got the Three of Wands. Okay, so I'm getting that Freya has your back when it comes to launching some sort of venture or going off on an adventure, the adventure of your life. Again, I'm getting that you're ready for something. You're fully ready. You're engaged. You're in gear. This is like you having your car packed up full of stuff and, you've got it in first gear and you're ready to zoom off and move into a whole new arena of life, knowing that you've got the full power of the goddess behind you and other higher beings I'm getting. But, I'm hearing female power. So you could be a man watching this, but you've got the support of the divine feminine energies around you. And it's gorgeous to see that you're ready for not just the expected, but the unexpected as well, with the moon card coming out. And, I'm being told this is the sun and moon combined here. So this is you really having the support of the goddess, but also, this is the support of divine masculines as well. So there's something about you that's really fair and balanced as you're going through on your journey. You've clicked past any illusions is what I'm getting. And now your road is clear. So we will clarify this because I do feel like you beat some illusions. You really conquered something that was a mirage, a facade. This could be to do with people in your life or a situation that you had to master. And we've got a little ghoul in the water here. And Freya is laughing at this ghoul saying, you're not going to get any of mine. You're not going to trick any of mine. So this is beautiful to see. And the ghoul is being washed clean. So that represents your enemies, being taught a harsh lesson. That's what I'm going to say. So lovely twinkly stars on this card, the sun, the moon, and the stars combined. You've got it all. And I feel like you're really satisfied with your position right now and eager to move forward in a beautiful way. They're pulling me to the 2 boats. So you could be taking 2 trips, having 2 holidays. They're saying 2 lovers for somebody. The number 2 is very significant here. So you could be doing something differently and doing something with a pair of people or something like that. But do look out for the number 2 because it's very important. We've got the Knight of Pentacles here. Okay. I'm getting your bank's going to be filled up in a lovely way. Show me. 10 of Wands. You're up for a challenge, I feel like. Look at this, the Fool card. 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck here. Show me one more. Let's get them all laid out on the table because this is quite mysterious with the Fool and these 2 cards right here. 7 of Cups. Again, expecting the unexpected and knowing you can handle things and pace yourself with any responsibilities or burdens. But to me, it looks like a big burden is going to be lifted off of your shoulders with the Fool showing up right at the end. Okay, so, you're ready to move, but I do feel like there's been maybe not a delay in something, but you've been ready for a while and you've had to be patient while the universe aligns all your orders and gets the right people and the right things in the right places so that you can really sort of move ahead and take a leap of faith and start flying. So it's almost like you've had your bags packed for a while and you just had to get through. I'm hearing a major hurdle that you've sort of jumped over with panache. Thank you for the person who wrote that in the comments the other day because they are giving me that word again here, panache. I was really searching so hard for that word and I couldn't find it. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm getting a major hurdle and I said other instead of over. So it's almost like someone's been made irrelevant in your experience or the universe is making someone who was a foe, they were an enemy, they tried to come up against you, and the universe is making them completely irrelevant. You know, this is like the other category. You know, when you have to fill out a form and they ask you what you are, and there's always this other box at the end if you don't fit in any of the categories. They're saying you're other because you're multidimensional and you're majestic, but this person was other in a different kind of way. So you could have vibed with someone at some point. You could have really got on with them and thought you were both kind of alternative and both kind of, you know, different somehow and unique somehow. But then you realize that you were unique in the upright way and they were unique in a strange way. So, you know, that's a message for somebody to confirm you're on the right pathway going forward. They're pulling me to this blue fist right here. And it's actually holding on to what looks like a hair, or it could be a wire. Okay, subject to interpretation. That's what I'm being told here. This is subject to interpretation. So it's almost like this was a real fight. I'm hearing that for someone out there, you could have had a real fight for your life. It might not seem like that, but you really did it, okay? Which is why maybe you were feeling some sort of energetic burden for a while, but now you've put the sticks down and you're going to be moving in a much more jubilant way, in a much more happy and cheerful way. Ace of Cups energy. So the confusion's getting dissolved out of your life and you're coming into this beautiful flowing period of time. Again, the sun's really important in this reading. We've got the sun 3 times behind the Ace of Cups on the Fool card and cuddling up with the moon here on the Moon card. So wherever you go, God is with you, the higher realms are with you. And it's funny, I've got a double candle right now. I just realized that with the 2 boats and the sun and the moon combined. So whatever you're doing, Spirit is saying, do it your way. Do it in your own personal way. You know, cook up your own personal recipe. This is a time for you to do things in your own kind of flavor, your own kind of brand, and really sort of jump out of any mainstream or status quo sort of groups or activities, or, you know, jump out of that mindset and really do things your way, because you only live once. 10 of Pentacles. My viewers are so abundant. I absolutely love this. So whatever this burden was, it's really gifting you with the picture you need to create this life that you want. So knowing what we don't want lets us know what we do want. And I can see that you've been through something that, you know, it didn't cause a major delay, but you could have thought it was a major delay. Really, everything was becoming aligned for you. And I'm hearing your pockets were being filled up. You know, your non-physical vault was getting filled up. And now what I see is that your physical vault is going to be transferring funds from your non-physical vault. So that's an interesting message. While these sort of delays, or while the slow motion was happening, and while you were already ready to do something, but it wasn't happening as quickly as you might have liked, you were building up so much currency non-physically, with all the love you were putting into something and all the care and all the devotion. And, you know, you're going to start to see this physical manifestation of your material wishes coming true. And that's people, places, things. There could be a new home, you know, a luxury home I'm getting for somebody, you know, new pets. But this is everything coming together beautifully for you with the 10 of Pentacles, and you feeling free and feeling really uplifted every day, waking up with that dewy glow in your eyes and just feeling like everything is as it should be, and feeling really excited for what's coming next in your life. 5 of Wands energy. So this is an excited 5 of Wands. I'm getting, you know, you've turned into a real warrior, but we do have the World card here telling me that, you know, you've turned into a warrior, but you could be putting down your stick, right? You might not have to fight so much anymore. And now I feel like it's just a case of you kind of focusing on the good stuff. You know, you've done the hard slog here with the 10 of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles and all the illusions, and you had to walk down this pathway, perhaps alone, or, you know, we've all got to do our spiritual work singularly somehow, even if there are people around us, right? It's our own personal journey, and you really took your own personal journey here. And I'm hearing that the fight is over and you won. The fight is over and you won. So there we go. 9 of Pentacles to match our 10 of Pentacles. And there is a message here that, you know, even when you get into this sovereign group, soul group scenario, because that's what the 10 of Pentacles really represents, multiple sovereign beings kind of coming into the same storyline, the same timeline, and really blending and flowing with each other in a harmonic way that only high vibrational people can do. So they're saying, welcome in to the mezzanine of the high vibrational people, you know, all unified and uplifted, but all completely unique and, you know, doing things their own way. And there's a message for you that you will still get to do things your own way. Nine of Pentacles energy. You've still got your own personal goals and growth and things to fulfill in yourself, even though you've got this beautiful support, this beautiful soul group support coming in. And we do have this big celebration energy with the Three of Cups. And this is your good karma. This is your justice. This is the universe saying, you know what, you earned this. You earned this beautiful stage in your life, this gorgeous lifestyle, because you're just such a good person. And you know, I've got my 2 columns on the table, so you know, the goddess is smiling down upon you and the higher beings are smiling down upon you because you had such strength when it came to dealing with something that was awful. I'm getting these horrible energies of, you know, just the wrong people around you, wasting your time. It wasn't a waste of time because they were helping you with your spiritual gatherings. They were helping you gather your loot, okay? And all adversary helps us do this because it helps us summon up invisible energy that lets the universe know what we want in relation to what's happening. So something malevolent really helps you conjure this beautiful lifestyle up. And, you know, I feel like you moved from a 5 of Swords, which is more vicious and nasty and distorted and very low vibrational, to a 5 of Wands, which is, you know what, you want to fight, let's fight, you know. So you've got your warrior stripes. I'm seeing 2 stripes here on your arm. Okay, so you earned your stripes is what I'm getting here, and you certainly earned your loot. Let's clarify, okay? So get 3 clarifiers out of this deck, and then we're going to pull some oracles and see what happens, because maybe in the past when you've been part of groups you haven't been able to have your own space. You know, Spirit is saying, Freya is saying, the goddess is saying, you will still be able to have your own space and perfectly be who you are and grow and adapt and expand your own personal heaven on earth, expand your Akash, even though you've got support, right? Because sometimes, you know, when we're in a group scenario, people can get a bit clingy, a bit codependent, or the rules can kind of shift and we can find ourselves entrenched in family stuff or, you know, group mindset. But this is a sovereign soul group, so it's completely different. Everyone has their crown on. Everyone's got their own wishes, desires. Everyone's a god in this scenario. Okay, so you're going to be around other gods and you're going to be doing it beautifully, doing your own thing, but also having support there and, you know, a lovely group there when you need them. King of Cups energy. You might want to watch my previous reading to this because he did show his face in my last reading. Okay, so it could be that, you know, your soulmate's out there somewhere patiently waiting for you. I'm getting you could have a really strong telepathic connection with this person and you're picking up on them already. And then we've got number 8, strength, again, to match our strength card here. Okay, there could be a Leo, a Scorpio. I'm getting strong fire energy here. Any of the fixed signs, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, or Scorpio, that's very relevant here. And Cancerian energy, love overflowing into your life in the most beautiful way. I'm getting that you're going to pair up with another god. And the 2 of you are going to be quite legendary. All right, that's what I'm getting from this. Something about a pairing, a very important pairing. Okay, 8 of Swords here, one at a time. And the Knight of Pentacles. So, you know, whoever tried to slow you down, what I'm seeing here is now they're all tied up with their decisions that they made and they've been slowed down. Okay, they're not even on their horse anymore. You know, they're holding tight to their money. You know, time is a problem for them. They can't do enough things to unwrap the mess they created in the time they've got. Whereas you've earned your stripes and you're standing in full strength and you're about to flow into a sovereign scenario. You know, this could be a best friend, but I feel like a lover and a best friend at the same time. That's the kind of energy I'm getting here. Yeah, your enemies are in turmoil and, you know, hiding away here. We've got hermit mode. You know, their dreams are over. Okay, they've missed out on their dreams because Spirit was testing them with you. Spirit wanted to see what they were made of when they were dealing with you. So there's something about your soul. I'm getting that you've got like a gateway kind of soul where when people cross your path, they don't realize that, you know, they're being measured. Their souls are being calculated, weighed and measured through dealing with you. So, you know, what happened is they dealt with you, and the universe is like, right, if you can't even be nice to this beautiful earth angel, if you can't even be kind when you come across a god, an angel in disguise, then, you know, this is your test and you failed it. 9 of Swords energy. This person's going to have to live out the nightmare they wanted you to live. Everything they wanted you to experience is going to happen to them. This is karma and justice at its finest. And hiding won't be enough for this person, because they cannot escape the situation that they created for themselves. Why? Because they didn't learn their lessons. Why? Because they messed with the wrong one. And now, much like you are cocooned and encapsulated and protected by the divine, with the goddesses at your back, this person is kind of alone, okay? And you know, they might have thought they had loads of friends and support, but they'll find that these people will not have their back when it comes to the crunch. When the ish hits the fan, their friends will abandon them, okay? Their frenemies or whatever, you know, the other narcissists they love so much. These people can't really survive very well when there's not a system that holds them. And there's something about this system crumbling, and something about, you know, they still don't understand why these things are happening to them, because this person is delusional. They think that the sun shines out of their you-know-what, and they don't understand that they're no better than anyone else, and that they have to answer to universal law. They have to answer to the divine. They just can't see it, okay? I'm hearing wasted soul, okay? So they've wasted all their options, and, you know, they've wasted all their chances to learn and grow and evolve and to activate their heart chakra, and they really haven't learned any lessons. So Spirit's wiping their hands. I'm seeing Spirit going like that. Nuh-uh, they are done. Okay, so it looks to me like they're going to be one of those souls that ends up actually getting recycled and turned into a rock or something, because they're just no good for the ecosystem. Meanwhile, your garden is flourishing and beautiful. And this can happen to souls. You know, as much as I speak about us being immortal, everlasting life is through the heart. You know, the sacred heart gives us everlasting life. But, you know, when your heart is dead, and you can't be kind to anyone, and you mess with an earth angel, you mess with a god. I'm hearing Azazel. When you mess with the wrong ones, then you will, you know, some of us aren't immortal. Some of us, I say us, some of them just, you know, they need to be thrown off the earth plane, and their energy will be recycled. And that might be hard for you to hear, or it might be great for you to hear, but someone really tried to ruin you and it backfired on them, okay? So now you're getting all their loot. Any loot they had energetically is going to you. And I know you're going to say, I don't want it, but it's energy, okay? This person lost all their energy. They don't deserve it, and we only get what is fair for us to receive. You know, universal law is perfectly balanced, perfectly just. Whatever we experience, it's because we conjured it. All right, so this person needs to think about their behavior. I'm hearing they've got about 5 minutes to repent and come into their heart and see the error of their ways, but there's about a 0.01% chance of them doing that. The cycle's over, okay? Although, you know, the divine realm is very fair. They will, you know, give people chances to repent and repent and repent. But once the equation ends up at a point where there is 0 chance for this person to ever be heartful, and they've lived like multiple lifetimes crapping on people, being mean, being horrible, that's it. They get thrown away basically, and they're not allowed to exist pulling other people down. So that'll be I'm hearing a round of applause. That'll be a beautiful, you know, bit of justice knowledge for someone who's had to deal with malevolent narcissists. And you think, do they ever get their karma? Will they ever pay for what they've done? Yes, they will. You will get all their energetic loot. You know, the energy they've stolen off others. Energy will be redistributed to the people that they've stolen it from. And any energy they've taken from you will be given back to you with interest. All right. And they will be repurposed. Never ending story. Spirit saying, you know, their heart isn't in their body. Something they did sort of ripped their own heart out. You know, being nasty to other people only damages long term the one that's doing it. All right, so this person lost their heart a long time ago, and quite frankly, the guides and the higher beings are sick of their behavior. So if they thought that they can get forgiveness without repenting and knowing full well that what they've done is wrong, and really knowing, oh, wow, I really shouldn't have done that. You know, it's not easy for these cowards to do that, because if they truly repent, then they've got to feel the full pain of what they've done to someone else. And not many of them have got the courage to do that, or the gumption to do that. So I see that this is, you know, something that is really going to, you know, this soul's this person's soul is going to be taken away completely is what I'm getting. And yes, that does happen. And yes, it is going to happen to this person. Come to the edge. Okay. So this is you really, knowing you've got the full backing of the universe and really being willing to take a risk on something, knowing that wherever you walk, the pavement is paved with gold. Everywhere you go, you are divinely protected. And I can feel this person's energy coming through. They're getting worried, all right, because you're so blessed. And what they did to you has been monitored, recorded. Nothing they've ever done is hidden or secret. And you're so blessed, I think you had a deep knowing. Again, 2, we've got a big moon, little moon here. Lots of stars, lots of beautiful energies. The number 22, like I say, 2s are really important here. Number 11, adding up to 2. So there's definitely this bringing together of similar souls. And you're definitely ready to take a risk, I feel. Going the distance in your new life. That is so beautiful. And you've really had to work hard with this. I can see you're a real warrior. You're a real soldier. And just as I say that, we've got truth be told. Okay, you're going through this window to this new, expanded, beautiful life, blessed. And I'm hearing that the gods have been really encouraging you, really wanting you to get to this point where you can come to the edge and you can live this new life and you can really feel the fullness of your blessings without morons, thinking they're God or thinking they're some powerful demons or whatever the hell they think they are, because they're powerless, So Spirit's been really getting behind you and, they want you to consider Friday the 13th as the luckiest day because you're a divine being. For these ones, Friday the 13th is a very unlucky day because it's Freya's day. And Freya always gets her justice, all right? And Freya is on your side, so that's beautiful. We've got the castle. This is where you're going. Maybe you will be buying a castle or building a castle, but this represents the castle of your dreams, everything that's been held in escrow in the non-physical or the astral realm, ready for you to bring it to fruition in the physical. A change in the wind, you're going to be lifted up by a great big pagan gust of wind is going to lift you up and really sort of take you to a new location. Like a beautiful seed pod that gets whisked away to a desert island. That's the reference I'm being given here. We've got I love ballet. But again, this could be something you really love, being held in protection for you. That's what I'm getting. Everything you love is held within this heart and has guaranteed protection. So this is the lifestyle you've been planning. This is your dreams being held in this beautiful heart because your heart is so big and beautiful. And they're saying thank you for the work you did for the divine. Thank you for being an earth angel. Thank you for always maintaining your equilibrium and your warrior energy, regardless of the idiots that you've had to deal with. This is part of your spiritual work to sort of come across these lost souls and see if your beautiful essence can light them up again. And unfortunately, for one of the people that messed with you, I'm getting that if even your energy can't uplift this person or light their heart up, there's something very wrong. All right. The sun is coming out in your life and you could be by the ocean. I'm getting with this charm, feeling renewed. Salt water is really important here. I'm getting air. I keep getting the Little Mermaid references, Neptune energies. Your life is being washed clean. You're at the top of the pyramid. So this person didn't get in the ark. All right. You're at the top of the pyramid. The water doesn't go that high. So this person's life is getting flooded with their bad decisions and you're safe at the top of the pyramid. You're doing just fine in your golden lane of being. Yeah, ocean. We've got 2 dolphins. There's that number 2 again. And what have we got here? A unicorn, magical one. So this is you getting your wings, right? Your magical unicorn wings and finding the others who are also winged creatures, finding the other angels, finding the other gods and moving into the most blessed period of your life. So you could be swimming soon or just swimming in happiness. So remember that number 2 is very important. Watch out for 2222. All right. And 222 and all that sort of thing. And just the number 2 could be popping in random times. All right, I hope this Freya Friday message has been good for you. I love you loads, my little unicorns. Mwah, mwah, mwah.